Hello, everybody. We are live, my beautiful friends. We are live. What are we talking about today? There was a short that I posted. Stop begging for your manifestations. You create your experiences. That is what we're talking about today. Because I find that those are the most popular questions. Angela, how do I do this? How do I do that? The process is never going to change. Your manifestation is yours. Hey, Cyber, I see you. Your manifestation is what you are creating. You see, we don't stop. We don't stop creating. We don't stop manifesting. We do all day, every single day, every day. And so it is up to us to walk in that knowledge. Walk in the knowledge of, oh, I'm creating this experience. Well, how are you creating the experience? You are creating the experience because of where your mind is. That's where you're creating your experience from. So this is why it is always helpful, Neville Goddard says, to what? Your concept of yourself. Because it is the self who is creating. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you judge yourself and you cuss yourself out and you feel unworthy, well then, as within, so without, you must confirm that which you know yourself to be. So this is why now, I grew up in church, and so I always heard things like, God willing, if God allows, if God permits. And we were taught how to beg and plead and supplicate, prayer and fast. That's what we were taught to do. Because if we were good enough, then you would get your manifestation. But if you were not good enough, then too bad, so sad, you wouldn't get it. So it is just one of those things where we have to, I see you. Miss M, I see you. You're listening while you clean, but this is good. Multitasking, are you? Anywho, it is just the way you speak to yourself, David, the way you show up in the world. Listen, we've all gone through things. Show me somebody who hasn't gone through things, right? We've gone through things and situations. And the way the subconscious mind is set up is that it is programmed by way of repetition and or repetition with feeling, a strong feeling or emotion. We have all experienced some kind of trauma. But what we've done is allowed the trauma to be where we live from, our state. We've allowed ourselves to do that. Oh, well, why is that? You see, this is the reason why we remember negative encounters more than we remember or recall the positive ones. How is the subconscious mind programmed? Repetition or repetition with strong emotion, right? So you program the subconscious mind with repetition, but then you impress it. What does it mean to impress? Leave a lasting impression is what we hear. It's like a hot branding iron. I did it yesterday. Right, a neural pathway, just like that. So now what ends up happening, that trauma that we've experienced is so imprinted on the subconscious mind. It's like now you have become this photocopier, the photocopying machine, and the trauma is on the glass of the photocopier. And all that keeps happening is copy, 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 and the machine keeps spitting out the copy. That's the state. Whatever image is on the glass of your subconscious mind is what you recreate. So when you say things like, I keep getting the opposite of what I want to manifest, you cannot get the opposite. You are getting what is there. So when you say things like, but my SP won't communicate with me, my SP won't return my calls. Why doesn't my SP care? I'm so anxious about my SP. It is not your SP, your specific person, your special person. It isn't them. It is the image you hold of yourself that is being recreated all day, every day. If we have that sensation of lack, oh, I'm a bad mom, I'm not good enough. I'm just, it doesn't matter what I do. There comes the paper off the out, the photocopier spits it out. Your life experiences will spit out what you feel about yourself. So if you are saying, oh, please God, let me have it. If I don't have this, my life will suck. If this doesn't change in my life, I don't know what I will do. What's on the glass? Desperation is on the glass. As within, so without. This is what we're recreating. And again, the reason why the negative is impressed upon us is because when you hear something about yourself, oh my God, like you have these matchstick legs. Oh my God, your neck is so long. Like, ugh, you're so gross looking. That is interpreted as a personal attack. It's on your person. It is your reflection in the mirror. So it leaves a rapid impression on your subconscious mind, and you go to sleep, you remember it, you dream about it, you wake up, you recall it because it's on the photocopier. But if somebody comes along and say, oh my God, you look so pretty in that dress, or I love your new cut, man, like, dude, that tie is banging. You say, whatever, I don't believe you. You know why you don't believe them? Because they didn't come at you and say, oh, ew, ew. They didn't say that to you. They said, oh my goodness, that looks really good. And then what do we think? Oh, lies. We think you're being lied to. But why is that so easy to call a lie? But the other thing, where somebody attacks your person, you take it as truth. Why is that? That's why the negative comes to the surface all the time, because it is rapidly impressed upon the subconscious mind by way of your emotions. You know, they made you feel something when they told you. Just like if your child upsets you. I'm not talking about you. Better not be. I'm not. Birthday boy. I'm just saying in general, when we speak to our children, if you say, oh, because you're mad now, right? You say, oh my God, you're so stupid, don't you? Oh, very hard and fast impression upon their subconscious minds. And then what happens? They go to school, and in the back of their mind, oh my God, you're so stupid, why? That's what they hear. And then the teacher says, well, why don't you come and share with us? And they feel shy and reserved, and they don't speak, and they think they're stupid, and thus they fail in school. Not because they're stupid, but because what was said left an impression. By way of what? Fast emotion. You see, here's the thing with Neville Goddard, right? When he says to you, feel it, there's a reason. If you feel it and you leave a hard and fast impression, then you don't have to do repetition. You don't have to do repetition if you do a hard and fast emotion to impress the subconscious mind, not reprogram it. Two separate things. So now, if you are looking at your life and you go back as a youngster and you see yourself and you catch yourself, you say, oh my God, how many times was I told I was stupid or ugly or not worthwhile, or I wasn't as good as that person? And now you say to yourself, oh, so that's why I'm keeping that job away? That's why I'm keeping that new car away? Yes, because of what you experienced and what is sitting on the glass of the photocopier. So now every experience you have, all that's happening is that image in your subconscious mind, and all that's happening is copy, copy, copy. And then you say, I never get what I want. That's what we say. I'm just reading your comment, Ms. M. Your neck is so long. Who's she counseling, giraffes or flamingos? Listen, that was my grandmother always told me I had a long neck. We have this bird in Barbados called an egret. An egret, it has a long neck. And she used to say that that's what I looked like. And for a long time, I was really self-conscious about my neck. I never wore anything that would show the length of my neck because I always felt like, oh my God, it's so long, people are going to laugh at me. Until one day, I don't remember where I was, and I was wearing like not an off the shoulder, but just a scoop neck, you know? And somebody said to me, my, your neck is glorious. It's so elegant. Somebody said that to me. And I was like, it is? But you see, I will always remember that. I remember both things. And I remember how both of them made me feel. And so my neck is long. And what of it? It's elegant. Indeed it is. It will make any jewels look nice. Any jewels, any necklace or baubles look lovely. Anyway, I digress. The better man, I'm glad you're here. So you see, I used to choose things that would hide my neck, or so I thought, because a turtleneck, it may look like it shortens the neck, but it elongates. So I chose a lot of things that I wore based upon your neck is so long. So we choose experiences based upon the thing on the glass, the impression on the glass for that photocopier of your life. And so if you are struggling with this thing of why is this thing not showing up for me? What am I doing wrong? It's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong. It's where's your mind been set? What has been impressed upon your mind that you keep recreating? That's what it is. That's what you look for. Instead of, this is happening to me again. Like, oh my God. You look at it and you say, oh snap, that's the image that's impressed upon my subconscious mind. So how did the image become impressed upon your subconscious mind? Because the process to impress the mind is always going to be exactly the same thing. Strong emotion. That is how we impress the subconscious mind. But to program it, you use repetition. When is repetition good? Learning. You learn it and you repeat it over and over and over again. Like when you are teaching your toddler their colors or their numbers, you have to show them the number, point to it and say 3. And you show them the fingers, 3. You show them the number on the card, 3. You show them the word, 3. You show them over and over and over again. And by the time now you hold up this, they say tree, you know, because they're cute, right? Or you show them the printed number on the card and they excitedly say 3. This is how we learn, by repetition. To consciously create, there must be an image here in your subconscious mind. You must have the image. If you don't have the image, I always equate it to a realtor. If you don't tell the realtor what you are looking for, how can they take you out to see houses? They know you're looking for a house. So if they take you to see a $3 million mansion and you say, well, that's not in my budget. How can they be exact with what's in your budget if you don't tell them, if you don't paint the picture for them? So you see, we have this thing that we were taught to do. We were taught to supplicate, to beg. Oh, please, please, sir, I have some more. Oh, Lord Jesus, if it's your will, Lord, whose will is it? Your will. My will. Who else's will is there to be done? So when you have that clear image impressed upon your subconscious mind, some people are very good at visualization. So they do well with mind movies, yeah? Because they see the image and they get this ooey gooey emotion thing going on and they just see it. They're really good at that. Some people hear and then an image appears. Some people smell and then an image appears. Some people taste and an image appears. Remember in Ratatouille, how he ate the ratatouille and all of a sudden he flashed right back to his childhood. You saw him at the door with his little knees, right? He tasted and he had an image right away of what it was that taste triggered in his life. So you see, it doesn't matter which sense you use. Which one is your strongest one? Then use that. If it is a sense of touch, if you can sit here and touch a piece of velvet and an image comes to your mind, well, then use the sense of touch to impress that image on your mind. And once the image has been impressed upon your mind, that's what you want. So now your only job is to make sure the image stays up. And so that you're not, somebody comes along and says to you, oh, well, that's not possible, you know. Why do you have to aim so high? Why do you think you're better than the rest of us? You know, you're so out of this world, like, you know how people can be. And then all of a sudden, you allow your image to fade away a little bit. We have to be stronger than that. Your image is your image. It is what you are recreating. How are you going to let somebody just come along and vomit all over your image? But if you understand why they vomit all over your image, I hope you're not eating, by the way. If you allow them to come along and do that, really? But you must understand why they do it. It is law. It is law. Sometimes we doubt our own images. This is why Neville tells you, if you can't walk out there and say, listen, I decree it and it is. He says, if you can't do that, then shh, don't tell anybody. Because if you tell somebody, they're going to come along and tell you your own fears about that image that you're creating. So this is why you don't have to beg for your manifestation. You have to hold the image and say, here's what I'm recreating in the world. And you begin to feel the sensation of having it because you already do have it. How do you already have it? It's right here. It's right here. Ask any architect. They're out for tea or lunch and they have a napkin on the table and they're like, oh my God, I just saw them. And they start sketching. Where are they sketching it from? Where are they sketching this house from as an architect? Or this bridge? Right here. Neville calls it your wonderful human imagination. That's where they're sketching it from. So when this architect sketches it on the napkin, is it not real? All he has to go out now and do is actually draw that out to spec, to measurement then, so that he can give the plans to the crew, break ground, and build it. So did he beg? Did the architect beg? Oh, please, build my home. No, the architect had an image here, and the image overtook him. He was so wrapped up in the image that he had to stop eating to sketch it out feverishly, like a mathematician. They have to solve the equation. It's here. So if it is here, it can be recreated. That's why all things are possible. That's why we need not beg for our manifestations. This is why. You are the one creating it as you go. I am creating it as I go. Yeah, but Angela, the world does have an influence on us. Bless you. The world does have an influence on us. If my neighborhood is run down, or if this is happening or that is happening, how am I supposed to break free of that when that's what's going on around me? I didn't put myself here. Like, you have to have some compassion, Angela, because you just can't say things like that, because people have real life struggles that you don't know about. I agree with you. We all have real life struggles. But if you look around where you are and you say to yourself, well, this won't do, darling. This just won't do. This is not where I belong. Where would you prefer to belong then? Begin to see it here. As I tell you, in your mind's eye, begin to see it here. And as you see it here, it will begin to generate that feeling for you. And that image begins to solidify. It will come together for you. And when it comes together, you're wrapped up in it, and that's all you think about. But you're not thinking about it because you don't have it. You're thinking about it because you're tweaking it and just making it just right. So that when you hit copy, ring, 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 and the photocopier is spitting out the image, that's what you're doing day in and day out. Does that make sense? Oh, there's 9 people here today. Look at that. I see you. I see you. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. I'm just reading Miss M's. Yes, long necks are known to be regal and beautiful. Well, I had to learn that. So that's why I love my neck. I do. I couldn't help myself because y'all crack me up. But does it make sense? The way we behave right now is based on a memory. Like, if you have a particular habit, what is a habit? A thing you do the same way every time. It becomes second nature. It is a memory. We write, we speak, we walk, we talk, we dance from memory, from our subconscious minds. It's quite like this. The subconscious mind does so much. We think it's just with those things, but I want you to think about it. We breathe, don't we? We can't hold our breath. You can't just hold your breath and hope for the best, you know? But you can influence the breath that you take. How do you influence the breath that you take? By a memory. I was chased home by a pit bull. I was a wee little whippersnapper. You know, I was chased home by a pit bull. Pit bulls and I was leaving the grocery store. I was just walking, you know, and I turned the corner, and let me tell you something. Every cell in my body was like, ah! But I kept it cool. This dog was beautiful. It had a beautiful coat and everything. But the size of his head was massive. I was like, good God almighty, because you turn the corner and then bam, there he is, right? You're like, ugh. And so all these memories just flashed back. I wanted to run, but I gave him a wide berth. I just walked a little wider, right? That's all I did. But the memory is still there, right? We do these things from memory. So do we allow our memories from the past to dictate who we are now? At some point, we're going to have to make a choice. and say, this will not do. That's what we say. This will not do. And then remember how we program and how we impress the subconscious mind. Say it with me. How do we program the subconscious mind? By way of repetition. And how do we impress the subconscious mind? By way of a strong emotion. Yes. We say it all the time. Oh my God, I met this person and they left such an impression on me. Where did they leave that impression? Your subconscious mind. Cosmic habit force. Cyber, explain. Because I've never heard that term before. So explain. Cosmic habit force. Yes, David, international models do have long necks. They really do. They really, really do. I'm no international model, but I'll take my long neck. Like a flamingo. Anywho, I had that same experience with 2 Rottweilers. I ran to a random house and luckily their door just so happened to be unlocked. So there I was in a random person's house waiting until the dog left. Cyber. I know, Cyber. Let me tell you, listen, I ran home, okay? And I was like some kind of strange hurdler. I put my hand on top of the guard wall and I jumped over. It was, shoot, there was no blinking. I didn't look at that wall and say, I don't know if I can make it. I looked at that wall and I said, that has to be between me and the dog. So I know exactly what you're saying there. That you just, you see that word? Luckily their door was unlocked. Oh, we don't have luck in the world, Cyber. We have what? Causation. You needed safety. And so you got safety. You understand? So it's a beautiful thing. It really, truly is. When we can look back and see how the things that we've gone through influence our decisions. And so that's why consciously, when you look at your life and you say, okay, what do I want to manifest here? And so this is how you can eliminate the doubt as well. You look back in your life and you see what you've done. Oh my God, I made these choices based upon that experience. So if you can make choices based upon an experience, you can make experiences based upon a choice. Causation, cause and effect. Every cause has an effect and every effect is cause. Yes? Oh, Napoleon Hill, hey? Wow, I had no idea that's what he said, Think and Grow Rich. I know the book, but I haven't read it about Napoleon Hill. I might consider that. So I trust this makes sense to you today, because when you feel as though a manifestation is taking a really long time, it's not that it's taking a long time. It's that you are already manifesting something else in its place that you are wanting to create. And the reason you can say that you're manifesting something else in its place, the thing that's in its place is the image you hold of the thing. So if you hold lack in mind, you have to experience lack. So how do you know there is abundance? Even if you doubted that there was abundance, you cannot doubt that when you look back and you see, oh my God, I did this. Oh, I did this and that happened. Or you're right, I did make a decision based upon that. So that is also another way that you can eliminate doubt. Look back at what you've done. Look back at your actions, not to judge them. Look back at them to build yourself up, build your faith. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things not yet seen. That is faith. Things hoped for, but not yet seen. But change it, if you will. The thing that you're creating that has not materialized yet. The thing you are creating right here that has not materialized yet. Does that make sense? I trust that it does. You don't have to doubt your manifestation. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to, are we there yet? You don't have to do that. Look at what you're getting instead, and that will tell you what it is you are recreating. It'll show you the image. It just will. Does that make sense? See? Short, sweet, and to the point. Precise. Concise. Let me know if you have any more questions, because if you don't have any more questions regarding why you don't have to beg for your manifestation, you know, there's 7 of you here now. So if you've missed something and you want to ask a question, let me know. Ask your question. Just drop it in the chat and we'll apply the law to it so that we can get past this whole thing of having to beg or validate our existence. You have an image here, recreate it. That's because all the necessary components required. Think of a puzzle, if you will. When I work on puzzles, I have the picture leaned up, you know, because it always gives you the picture on the front of the box. I have that picture leaned up, and the first thing I do is I put the edges together. You have to put the framework together because it's going to have to hold all the pieces. You know, you'll get a smattering of, oh, look, here's clouds. You can put all those ones together. But I like to start with the edges. You put the edge on the puzzle. So when you put the edge on the puzzle, now whatever you put in there, you know is held together. What's the edge? The completed puzzle, the end result. Because it's the framework. The frame holds everything together. It holds the image together. So when you're putting together your image in your subconscious mind, clarity, this is why you put up the image of that box. Is the puzzle not done? Of course it is, because the picture is right there. So yes, it is done. K-frame, I see you, baby. So it is already completed. You're now just putting the pieces together. Neville calls it the bridge of incidents. Because without that completed, let me finish this thought and then I'll come to that, David. Without the completed image, right? Sometimes it's hard to put the pieces together. Go back to the puzzle. You have the 4 corners of the puzzle. Some puzzles don't even have corners. Yikes! Right? But they all have a completed image, and you build from the completed image. Which means you don't have to figure out how the manifestation comes to be. You just, as they say, build it and they'll come. Get the finalized image. Once the image is finalized here, it can be recreated. David, go over what causes people to think it's taking too long and how to change it. When we say that the manifestation is taking too long, we're coming from a place of, you know, are we there yet? We're lacking it. Why are you lacking it? Why is it that you think this thing is taking so long? You're in a hurry. Is there desperation? Are you thinking, man, it doesn't matter what I do, I never get what I want anyway, so why do I even try? What does it even matter? That is a delay. Versus, now here's how we're going to fix it. If you look at the image you have in your mind, and to know the image, you will say something like, well, I keep getting the opposite. So if you're getting the opposite, what is the image that it is opposite to? It's in opposition to something because you say you're getting the opposite. What's the thing? What is the image that it is in opposition to? That means, where are you coming from? What are you thinking about yourself? You know, I don't know if this is possible. I've tried a lot of things in my life. I have paid for so many courses. I have done it all and nothing works. Well, that's what you'll get in your life. It doesn't matter what new thing you try, it won't work, because that's why it's taking so long, because that image is already on top of the glass. That image of it doesn't matter what I do, nothing is going to work anyway, is the image already on top of the glass. So then you recognize that that's what's there. To change it, what is it? Why do you think you can't have it? Because I'm not worthy enough. I don't deserve those good things. That's what I hear all the time when I think, I don't deserve anything good. So you got to work hard for things. Nobody's going to give you anything. If that's your attitude, if that is your mindset, if that is the image in your subconscious mind. You ever been at work and you want to put something through the feeder, right? It has to pass over the glass sometimes. I'm trying, because not all photocopiers do it, right? But if you are going to put something through the feeder, it has to go over the glass and be copied. But sometimes the other person who used the photocopier did not pick up the lid and take their stuff out from on top of the glass. You have to remove what's already there by putting in what it is you say you want. If that means being more clear, get a clearer picture. If that means you have to tweak your attitude, and it's not, oh, got a bad attitude, nothing good happens to me anyway. To tweak that is what you believe yourself to be. If that's what you believe yourself to be, then that is all you will ever recreate. Situations where you question your own validity, your own worth, your own value. That's what you will keep recreating. And you'll always be saying, why does this keep happening to me? Because you haven't changed your attitude. And one of the ways to eliminate doubt is to recognize, I am already creating the opposite of what I say I want. I keep getting the other thing. So if you keep getting the other thing, are you not manifesting? Yes, you are. So you can't doubt that you manifest, because you can see clearly, because you just said it. I get the opposite. So you know that you're manifesting. So then the problem is not in the manifesting. The problem lies within how you see you. Well, why don't they call me back? Why don't they? He said he would. Oh, am I not good enough? He treats me so badly. She treats me so badly. Like I'm not worth anything. How are you speaking to yourself? You see, we think that self-concept is just a little bit of the equation. Self-concept is the whole thing. Because whoever the self is can only duplicate itself. So what are you? That's what's being recreated at every turn. The self. Not the thing that you want, but the self. If you say, you know what? I got a clear image. I'm good. And I've been practicing, and you practice some more. You start to see these little things happen, and you say, oh, I brought that to myself. It builds your confidence. So the next time you say, what am I going to practice bringing to me today? Right? And you hold an image of it, and it comes, and you're like, oh, there it is. Ooh, there it is. Right? What is that doing to the self? It is building the confidence of the self. So that the next time the self says, I am creating and you have that image in your mind, the self doesn't doubt that it can come. The self knows, based upon the evidence of previous experiences, I did that. I brought that to me. I have the skill. This is why people will say, everything is always working out for me. You can't just say that random willy-nilly. Test it. What did Neville Goddard say? There's nothing to change but the self. So that means you can only test you. Test yourself. Hold an image. Now, if you're visual, cut it out and stick it somewhere and say, yes, this is what I'm recreating. Oh! And automatically when you do that, what happens to you? Oh, you get a feeling. I got a feeling, right? You get a feeling. And that feeling will impress that image upon your subconscious mind. And then what happens? We sometimes say, oh, look, birds before land. Oh, synchronicities. Oh my God, coincidences. Some people say, well, why do I see 111 all the time? Because you're thinking, oh, there's numerology, you know? You're like, you know what? These things mean that. My number is 9. Every time I go somewhere, I always count the numbers up on the license plate. And sometimes I'm talking to myself in the car and I have a question, and then I look up and I see the number 9, whatever. If it's a solid 9 or a cumulative 9, I see the 9 and I'm like, oh, I must be on the right track. Why would I say that to myself? Because every time I do something, I've practiced. Every time I do something, I'm like, and the number 9 always confirms it, doesn't it? Because it's the way I've conditioned myself. I've conditioned myself to see it. Thus, I have to experience it because it's left an impression. David, does that make sense? Or did I just throw myself off into the bushes? Let me know. But that's the thing. We don't have to beg for our manifestations because we are always manifesting. Always manifesting. Huh? We always are. So when you look back and you see, oh my goodness, I did that. Oh, I experienced this. Yeah, I had that thought and then I saw that. I had this thought and then, you know what? I was cussing her out in my mind. And then all of a sudden I went to the grocery store and then bam, I had to cuss somebody else out. You're like, oh, yes, you did that. I did that. So you already know that you are doing it. So if you know that you are doing it already, why the doubt? Yeah, I'm not just saying it's you. Then why the doubt? Always seek the evidence. You know that you are manifesting. You know that you are because you say things like, what a coincidence. I was just thinking about you. Oh my God. And you called. You already know that you are manifesting. You know what has us? We're scared. Just too good to be true, right? We think it's just too good to be true. So then, you know, if it's too good to be true, then it can't be possible, can it? Now we talk ourselves out of our own manifestations. Listen, I have experience with that one. That's what we do. We talk ourselves out of what it is we say we want to create because of things like, well, that might not be possible. That's what we do. So if you can talk yourself out of something, but can you not talk yourself into it? Well, of course you can. Because causation, every cause has an effect, and every effect its cause. So that's what I mean. You know, I really want to go and do karaoke, but I'm so scared. What if they laugh at me? Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Girlfriend calls and you're like, no, I'm staying home tonight. I'm not going to karaoke. Nobody's going to laugh at me. You talk yourself out of going to have fun. Because you don't want to be laughed at because you were laughed at before and it didn't feel good. It left an impression upon you. So now you allow the old impression to recreate itself and give you a new experience right here, right now. However, if you were bold, they're all bold. If you're bold, you'll go out. You'll go out there. And you got a good hype man, you got a good hype girl. They'll say, ooh, you got this in the bag. Look at them. Well, they drunk anyway. They don't care. Look at how they sound. Just go sing. And you get up there and you sing and you have a good time. What happened to you? You left an impression upon your subconscious mind so that the next time you want to do something, you do what? Draw from the memory of your boldness and you recreate a new experience to match the boldness is what you do. The pendulum will always swing. So you decide you're going to cower in fear or you're going to go out there and you're going to do it. We're going to rock down through Electric Avenue. And I shouldn't sing anymore that man's song. Eddie Grant lives in Barbados, by the way. He is amazing. He really, really is. He's a great songwriter. We may not hear from him, but his music is out there because he writes for others. Eddie Grant. Barbados has phenomenal people, you know. David. Right? So you hear what I'm saying to you. Allow yourself to be encouraged. Comprehend that you are already manifesting. Anytime you catch yourself saying, oh, what a coincidence. There are no coincidences. There are simply manifestations. They simply are. You are manifesting. I am manifesting all day, every day. So when you know that, who do you need to beg? Tell me who you need to beg. Hello, Empress Ella. I see you. Who do you need to beg? What's the first thing you do if your dog begs? Hey, stop begging. Stop that whining. So why would you beg? You don't have to beg for your manifestation. Get clear about it and then follow the inclinations that unfold because action is always going to be required. You can't be Usain Bolt and don't run and don't practice in the gym every day. How would you ever be the world's fastest man if you don't practice running fast and training and eating well? Action is always required. And you'll know exactly what action is required because of the thing you want to do. David, you just cracked me up. I just love you, fellow Bajans, right? Oh, Empress, I know you're listening, my love, and I do love seeing you in the mix. I do. But I trust it makes sense today because I'm not going to keep you long. It's been 48 minutes. I don't want to go past an hour. But you don't have to doubt what you're doing. Look at yourself and see that you are already doing it. It only feels difficult because you're learning right now. And the best way to learn is to do a thing. Listen, you can read all the books you want, but until you do it, it will only ever be theory. You have to get practical. Practical means you have to practice the law. I've told you how to practice the law many times. How do we practice programming the subconscious mind? Like if you have a behavior you don't want to do anymore. But what's the new behavior? Get up and do that. Old behavior, new behavior. Get up and practice the new behavior until it becomes second nature and buries this one. Once that neural pathway is formed, it's formed. Alzheimer's may relieve you of it, but nothing else. or maybe head injury. But once that neural pathway is formed, they don't go anywhere. That's why I don't like the term unlearn. You unlearn it. What are you going to rip up the pathway? No. Learn a new way, though. So that's why we do the new thing. And even though it seems like, oh my God, I'm not learning fast enough. If it feels like you're not learning fast enough, have some patience. Have some patience. Mike Tyson did not become who he was. Neither did Muhammad Ali. They did not become phenomenal boxers. Sugar Ray, they did not become phenomenal boxers by not going to the gym and practicing every day and sparring with their coach and doing the thing, the thing. They didn't get that good by saying, it's too hard on the first day. I'll never do it again. They stuck it out and they practiced and they practiced and they practiced and they practiced some more. Bet you anything, Mike Tyson still practices. Of course. Same for a designer. The sketch in their mind, if they didn't just get it right on the paper, they erase it and they start again until they get all the lines right. It is the same. You practice the new behavior day in and day out. Practice bringing up a sensation to rile yourself up. Even if you've never experienced it before. You've experienced it vicariously through someone. Is it a movie? Is it a book? Then recall that sensation. Like if you went and you saw a musical and you were filled with awe. And you said, my God, I went and I saw this musical and I was completely blown away. Like, wow, like how'd they do that? Like I just felt like all the actors spoke to me. Wow. That exuberance. That is an emotion. Call it up again. Practice calling it up. There's our cue to practice right now. I don't even have my bowl with me, but that's all right. Practice. Call up a sensation right now. What a nice, good sensation. Do you want to feel at ease? Do you want to feel relaxed? Do you want to feel peaceful? Do you want to feel exhilarated? How does it feel to remember your favorite line in the movie? How does that make you feel? Then call that up, that sensation. Why? Because it will impress your subconscious mind. It will impress your subconscious mind. Take a quick moment to do it. Bring up that sensation right now. And as soon as you have it, I will count to 9. When I get to 9, let the sensation go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let go of the sensation. See, we practice this every Tuesday night right here on YouTube and Fanbase and Facebook. Feeling your thoughts. Because we're practicing to bring up a sensation so that we impress the subconscious mind right away. Oh, hold on, y'all. We have a testimony. We have a testimony in the house. Marjorie says, I manifested my car getting checked over for free yesterday. They didn't charge me. And then I won 10 euros on a scratch card by saying, come on, Lord, continue the day in the goodness it already started in. Need I say more? This is how we practice. This is how we practice. I need my car fixed, or I need this done. I need it inspected. I'd like that for free. And there it was. And then you're like, well, look at that. This is a good day. Well, let's end the day the way we started. That's what I'm saying to you. Practice the law every day, all day. So now when Marjorie comes and she says, listen, I need this or I need that, I'm going to create it now. Because how do I know I can do it? Because I manifested this, I manifested this, I manifested this and this and this. Hey, tell me now how anybody can come along and say to Marjorie, child, you don't know what you're doing. That's just voodoo anyway. The law doesn't work. I don't think Marjorie would hit you or nothing, but she would say, please, I know what I'm doing. How would she know? Because she took it from theory and she put it into practice. Hey. Marjorie also says, yes, I am testing everything, even if it's little, paying attention to everything. Yes, because when you begin to see what you are doing and recreating in your life, that's where your confidence comes from. And now that becomes your state, the state of, I am a creator. And I create what I need, then I need it. That's the state, you know. Oh. That's the state. I am so glad that you guys are here today to catch all of this. Because so many times we say, why am I not getting what I want? You don't judge why you don't get it. Examine the image that you are holding of it. As within, so without, it is law. I trust that makes sense to everybody today. So I don't want my phone to hit low power mode because it will tell me. So anywho, Marjorie, Empress Ella, David, K-Frame, Cyber, Ms. M, the better man. And for all the others who have not made themselves known in the chat, I see you. I see you. I see you, and I'm glad you're here. I appreciate your time. And for the replay gang, you know I love you, right? I trust it makes sense. Are there any questions before we go? I will take a sip of water while you all type, if you feel so inclined. Oh, I'm just waiting for you to type. So you see, in closing then, if the question comes up, I'll still answer. But in closing, allow yourself to practice. Practice. And know that we don't beg, we create. No amount of... Listen. Practice the law. Build your confidence. I just wanted to say, I got confidence, no matter what the case may be. I don't know, David, if you ever heard of Joseph Niles. Oh, Joseph Niles, one of the most popular Bajan gospel singers. I don't know if stepping out in faith is here or not, but Joseph Niles is the man, or was the man, depending on if he's still alive or not, I don't recall. But build your confidence in your skill. That's the whole point. I'm going to tell you this. No electrician worth his salt can lack confidence on any given day. He doesn't have that opportunity. He must be confident. And if he isn't, he'll a little bit, and he'll build his confidence from there. But that's not a fun way to learn confidence, is it? But they learn. We learn. So if it's not going the way you want it to go, re-examine the image you're holding of that thing in your mind. Really, David? He knew your mom? What? Man, I grew up singing Joseph Niles, man. I grew up singing Joseph. I grew up singing his songs. Shoot. Yeah. Marjorie, I didn't have to manipulate or bat my eyes. I just felt good from the moment I woke up. Hallelujah. All those years in church make me want to say, hallelujah. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? All those years in church make me want to do that. But yes, your state, Marjorie, your state was, I'm a creator. What? You know how they tell you say it with your chest. What? That's what it is. That's the whole point. Have your confidence. And if you don't think you can get the confidence, go outside and plant something. Why? Because when you plant it, it grows. And when you plant it, you're not in surprise. Because when you plant it, you see the law of correspondence at work. When it grows, you see the law of causation at work. You know what you've seen when you plant that thing and you reaped what you've sown. You see the law manifest in action in real time. No delay, really. You know, of course, you know, potatoes, they sprout. Peas, they sprout. I mean, slight delay, but not really. So you see the law in action. You do. There's blue sky outside today. That's the law in action. Rhythm. Day and night. Oh. You see it in action. That's also how you can build your confidence. By recognizing the law all around you and saying, see, there's the law. Now let me bring it down, because as above, so below. So how can I work it out down here in this body? And you begin to apply it to yourself. And then that's how you get out of bed in the morning, because that's how you went to bed. You went to bed in the security of the law. So you can wake up in the power of it. So no more of this. No more of, I can't get what I want. Yes, you can. You are already getting what you want, because it's what you are. It's what you're recreating. So examine the image you hold of the thing that it is you say you are creating. And I leave you, my beautiful friends, with that. You know, you can click the link in my description to slide into my DMs, email me. You can also, we're doing law school, y'all, over on Patreon. We're going to be learning the laws starting in June. Again, watch for the date. Yes. And there's lots of things coming for Patreon. I will keep you posted. And it's just, wow. It is exciting. The law is exciting. So I look forward to seeing y'all in the morning for morning inspiration right here on YouTube and Facebook, because we stream over there now too. I'm getting the law in your face. Share it. Click the share button and share this with people. Never underestimate the power of a planted seed. You see, people want their lives to change. They need to know how easy it is. And stop falling prey and victim to the lie of, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. A leopard will never change his spots. Well, for one, I'm not an old dog. Two, I'm not a leopard, so I can change. And the dog will change based upon the treat in your pocket. So, anywho, I love you all, and you know where to find me. Click on the description below in my link tree, and you can do whatever you want. Oh, Miss M, I see you sending me confetti. Oh, Lord. I do love confetti, especially the virtual kind, because then I don't have to sweep it up. I do love confetti. And oh, tomorrow, my big boy is turning the big 1-4. did we get here? 14. Lord have mercy. Whew. 14. How did we get there? But he is. So you can send birthday wishes into my DMs and just say happy birthday. And so, because I'm going to shout him out tomorrow. Yes. Anywho, parting is truly such sweet sorrow. And I will catch y'all again. Much love.